What is up, guys, and welcome back to Dawn of Man, episode number 13. Guys, today we're talking about a super exciting topic that is all about what we're literally doing right here, right now, and it is the age of influence. You see, in episode number 3, we start talking about how work is going to be shifting in the age of automation, because with automation, we will have a lot of the traditional jobs and skills and all that what is providing value today be shifted into whole different categories and industries. And while almost everything can be automated, all the way from manual labor tasks, blue collar jobs, all the way to some white collar jobs, as we discussed, perhaps like a surgeon could be much better done by a machine, or perhaps some financial analyst is much better done by a machine, and so on. There's one pillar, one frontier of our industry and of our world, so to say, that is very hard to automate, and also probably the final pillar that AI might take over. And that is the realm of both trust and influence. And you see, smart people already know this. And this is exactly why right now, social media is such a huge land grab for attention. You see, everybody talk about like how many followers do you have, how many people can you reach, and all that kind of stuff. And while it might seem like vanity at first, it is in fact one of the most powerful assets that we may have in the future. Because keep in mind, work can be automated, skills can be automated, information is available anywhere online. But the one thing that you can't just put a robot onto is building actual influence, building actual trust and relationships with people, because it will have value even in an age when essentially 50 to 90% of the work is done by machines. So, and as of what we talked about right now, the land grab's already happening. Some of the biggest influencers in the world already have as much as like 100 million followers. Whether it's the Kardashians or some other famous people, some celebrities. But the idea is that even with 100 million followers, that isn't as much when we look at the total global population. The total global population is somewhere between 7 billion to 8 billion, and it's soon going to be a lot more. So 100 million for the most influential people on the web is really nothing. So what we'll be seeing in the future is that influence expanding towards a lot of third world countries, expanding that, towards India, towards China, towards Africa, and so on. In fact, right now, Facebook, for example, is literally flying drones over Africa in order to provide free Wi-Fi. And you might wonder, why are they doing it? Well, they're again participating in that land grab for influence and for attention. Because you see, the most powerful thing isn't just being an influencer on a platform with a ton of followers. In fact, the most powerful thing is having the platform itself. You see, the closest example to that we have is Facebook indeed. Because Facebook reaches literally billions of people around the world, and they can shape opinions, they can shape politics, and they can shape culture by what ads they allow to show, by how they frame the algorithms. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is true influence. So what we'll be seeing in the future is truly a shift towards that, creating platforms of influence. Get as an individual, having a lot of followers on these platforms, but more so if you can create a platform that has true reach, where you're in control. Because you might be saying, look, I've got 100,000 followers on Instagram, I've got millions of followers there and there. Well, if the platform shuts down, or if the platform shuts you down, or changes the algorithms, all of a sudden you're losing your influence. So the idea is that, right now, I think for the 2010s already, but even more for the 2020s, the land grab for attention will continue. So that we will have real focuses on, building organic influence on platforms, or building your own platforms, getting emails, getting phone numbers, and so on. But the real land grab, and this is the exciting part, will be in the 2030s and 40s. Once we're moving towards virtual reality, you can literally create whole new realities. So the idea is that whoever creates the new reality would be the same kind of as God. He literally created a whole new earth. He owns the land, he or she, of course, owns the land, owns the rules, can redefine the rules, can change the laws. And because this is real estate, so to say. If people spend just as much time, if not more, in virtual reality, then their opinions are just as much shaped there. So if somebody who owns, for example, the virtual reality and can show billboards in virtual reality it has just as much an advertising effect, if not more, than in showing them on Facebook. In fact, they're much more immersive because you actually you walking through virtual reality, you're seeing the billboards, you're seeing the advertisements, or even more powerfully, if you integrate them into the story, so to say. Who says that maybe in virtual reality you meet a person, and what if that person, in fact, isn't a real person? It's not played by a real person, but much rather, it's a non-player character, so to say, that's designed. It's a program. Now we're getting kind of matrixy, but it's a program, part of the virtual reality, with the sole intent of swaying your opinions certain ways. You see, perhaps a guy is more conservative, and then in virtual reality he meets a girl, which in reality is a program, who is more on the liberal side. So, and then he gets closer with her, and maybe she's able to change his political opinions through that. And it literally takes no resources, it takes no effort, it takes no real person. It's literally a program. A person is falling in love with a program that can change his mind. And that is true influence. Because once we move into the world of virtual reality, you're truly creating a new earth, and you're owning it, and you run the rules. You can, while people might be noticing that you change the natural laws, they won't be noticing if you're running programs in there, that you're running people, that you're running events and so on, that you have control over. So that is truly the big move towards influence that is going to happen in the coming decades. So what can you make out of this? What can we do to take advantage of this situation? You see, in 0 to 1, Peter Thiel talked about how, as an entrepreneur who wants to go from 0 to 1, create something new, we have to look for the unexplored territories on the map. He talked about how back in the day, the discoverers, they would look at a map and say, hey, there's all this, unexplored water, all these dark spots on the map that we haven't explored yet. And for the first time in a long time, we're moving towards a world where, again, there's dark spots on the map. Because I was an entrepreneur already, back in the 2000s, and sometimes you thought, what? Everything's been explored, everything's been done. But all of a sudden, there's new worlds. We've got an entirely, dark atmosphere around the virtual realities. You can create your own virtual reality. Or in the real world, if you believe in base reality, we're going to be exploring Mars. There's whole planets that are yet to be discovered, that are yet to be colonized. So when we talk about influence, the small thinking would be, gain as many followers as you can, because that influence will have true value even if your skills might be automated 10 years from now. But the bigger picture is that we're truly at the cusp of technology where we'll be able to start new histories. We'll be able to start new realities that are yet unexplored, that thousands, millions of people, billions of people perhaps, will be living in, where you might be either the creator, or at least you might be the historic person that's in year 1. Just the same way as whoever colonizes Mars first. Maybe we'll be the first, governor of Mars, the first city of Mars. The way we cherish American history, we know every little detail of when the colonizers came to the U.S. From Jamestown to the various rebellions that happened. We know everything. The same way history will be written once we go to other planets, once we create new realities. And that way you have to realize that right now is the day and age where you can, or somebody will, be that new king, that new legend, or perhaps even that new God, that will truly redefine the way we see society, the way we experience history, and the way we believe in what is reality. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Leave me some thoughts. What are some fields that you're interested in? Would you be somebody, to maybe architect a new reality that, people could really dive deep into and start viewing as their real reality? Or perhaps are you more of a, base reality guy who says, I want to be an explorer. I want to, be the 21st century Christopher Columbus, and, let's do it. Let's go to Mars. Let's go to the moon. Let's create new, eras, new eras of humanity where we can say, going to Mars, this is year 0. You're starting from scratch. And, if we create new virtual realities, or perhaps, go to different planets, there will be, for example, like new religions. Like there's a whole new paradigm that's coming up. Because with any of these big movements that happened in the past, you had things like that come up. You had new histories being written, you had new religions coming up, and so on. So all of that will be a whole new age. We're basically going back to year zero. We're basically giving humanity a fresh start with both virtual reality and space exploration. That will be so exciting. So I want to hear from you what you feel most attracted to and what you are doing right now to build your influence. Because guys, we are living in the age of influence right now, where influence will be mattering more and more and more in the coming years, because almost everything you can do with your hands will be able to be automated. So the only thing that really matters is the relationships you have, the trust you build, and what's between your head. The actual analytical ability, the ability to take information and to do something with it. Because the fact is, information is everywhere. But the kind of actual skills you have, the smarts you have to turn it into something real, that's what will be mattering. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one.